Okay.
The other thing was, we were hungry. My sister, being the wingman, she's like, "Hey, I found a pizzeria joint, Italian place. It should be good. Got good reviews on Yelp, whatever the case may be." We said, "Cool." We were starving. We're like, "Fuck it, let's just go." We go in there, Spanish music. And I know we covered this in the episode before. We go in there, and the hostess, "Hola, what would you like to eat? This and that. Here's your seat." And me and my sister like, "Oh man." So we get the pizza menu. We ordered the margarita pizza. Fucking terrible, dude. Terrible. The funny thing was, we're sitting there, and the waitress comes and she goes to us in Spanish, "Would you like to-go boxes?" And my sister looks at her and she goes, "No, this is to go into the garbage." But she said in Spanish, she goes, "No, esto para la basura." And the waitress was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're not taking none of that." So she took it. She threw it away. I don't know what she did with it, but we got up and we fucking left. I was like, this is fucking nasty. But yeah, illegal plastic bags, and Italian pizzerias are actually Mexican pizza parlors. There is no Italian pizzeria shops out there, or at least where we were looking at. So I don't know.
Two things. Question number one.
Uh-huh.
Are you saying your first stop was at a liquor store rather than a grocery store?
Yes. Because we were staying in my brother's house. So his refrigerator was stocked and everything else, but we landed and we had to get the rental, and we were just out driving. We were like, "Fuck it, let's just get something out to eat." We were gonna order in, but we were like, "Fuck it, let's just go somewhere since we're already driving everywhere." Yeah. So we looked on Yelp and we stopped at certain restaurants, but everything was like either closed or no parking or whatever the case would be. So we found that one and we were like, let's just go in there. But then after that, I needed liquor. I was like, "Yo, this is too much. Give me a fucking headache that they don't give plastic bags." And the pizza was disgusting.
So my wife and I went on a date last night, right? Yeah. So we dropped off my daughter at my mom's house, and we're like, "Where do you want to go eat at?" And we're like, "I don't know." My wife goes, "Hey," she goes, "Italian or pizza, or Italian or Mexican? I'm always down." And I go, "Okay." I go, "Well, we live in Texas, so the chance of going to Italian restaurant is not that hit.
It's minimal."
I was like, "But we can go to a Mexican restaurant and we have a good probability that we can like actually get some good food."
Right.
So we go to the restaurant. It's packed. Go in there. Spanish music is playing. Bet. We go there. The waitress has an accent. Check number 2.
Yeah.
Third one that is a must for Mexican restaurants. Yeah. The menu is homemade. It's not the best quality. It was not professionally done.
Right.
It's somebody who has skills of like, okay, I can, because everything was like, it wasn't doctored pizza or doctored picture, right? And it was really fucking good. And my wife's like, "Good choice." I was like, "Hey, we're in Texas. The chances that a Mexican restaurant has Mexicans in it, it's a good probability. It's a good risk, right? Like it's now we go there and it's like a pizzeria or like a fast food. It might suck dick. But if we go somewhere and there's Mexican music, the waitress has the accent. She speaks Spanish, but she came to us knowing that we don't speak Spanish. Mm-hmm. It's always going to be good. And this was to top it off. This is maybe something else. If all the Mexicans men are short, you got a goddamn good restaurant. Yeah, and they were fucking tiny. Dude, have you ever looked at a small dude and like, okay, maybe this is a better segue. Like you're 5'6". It's debatable 5'9". On your height. It's debatable. I've heard you 5'9". Say 5'10". Sometimes I think it's
5'9". I'm 5'9". Okay, anyways. But go ahead.
Okay. How bad do you feel for short guys? Now, I want to ask you this before you answer that. I've always noticed, and I wonder if you've noticed it. Mm-hmm. Anytime there's anybody who's an asshole or a jerk or has an issue, it's normally, not 100%, about 90%, they're fucking 5'5". Or shorter. Would you agree?
Well, I don't know, man. I'll be honest. For me, the short ones are comical. Like, they're probably the funny one in the group. You know what I'm saying? I have one of my really, really dear Matt, my dear friend Matt. He probably stands with high heels, 5'3". You know what I'm saying?
Now, has he tried? Do you have a picture of him in high heels? Is that why you reference it? Oh, okay. It seemed like that might be a weird like.
No, but he's very small. Like, he's probably like 5'1", 5'2", maybe, but funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knew he had to make something up for the lost height. You know what I'm saying? Because his dad His dad is probably like 5'9". His mom, I think he took after his mom. His mom is like maybe 5'3", 5'4". But his sister's taller than him. His sister's like maybe 5'7". But, you know, to make up for that, he had to be the funny guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had to have the quick jokes, the quirkiness, you know, the quick one-liners and everything else. Now, I have met other small dudes also that they're just, I think for me, it's always been the comedy from them. Like, look at Big Lou. Look at the Bree shooters. Big Lou and Chris. Big Lou is way taller than Chris. Chris is the smaller guy and everything, but funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, quick with the lines and everything else. But I've never met. I could see where they could probably be asshole or not. You know, that whole Napoleon syndrome. Right. You know, because they're just small. Like, they have to make up for it by being fucking idiots, obnoxious. But it's very rare that I have met one that's been, I mean, besides you, because you're smaller than me, but it's very one, even Nori. Nori's funny. Nori's not like an asshole, obnoxious or anything like that. Like, to me, Nori's a funny dude for his height, being 5'2" also.
I wonder how tall Nori is, though.
He's probably like 5'2", 5'3". He's a small. If you look at our pictures when we're standing next to him, he's like this to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's probably up to my nose level. You know what I'm saying? But
also, you were wearing heels. You had heels for shoes.
You are up to like my eyebrows.
Don't start this shit, dude.
We know. But I mean, so far they've always been funny guys. I've never met one that I'm like, man, you're a fucking asshole because he's fucking 5 foot, so he has to make it up by being a fucking asshole.
Yeah,
I
never
met that.
If a guy is funny and he's short, it's hilarious. And what I think it is, especially when they can understand they're short, when they're okay with it, right? Like, that's what I think it is. When they're okay, like, understanding like they're short, it is what it is. They can get girls that are taller than them because I don't think a girl really cares. I think a girl will be like, I want a guy who's 6 foot, whatever. But when they meet a guy who's just funny, like, okay, he's funny. Like, you could be 6'2" and you could just be dead as a doorknob when it comes to jokes. But you have a guy who's like 5'4" and he's hilarious. I think me personally, I think women care for that. But the guys that I'm talking about are those guys that like they always walk like kind of like, you know, they just want to take up more room.
Right.
It's like, because they're height wise, they try to go wide wise. They're like more muscular. Yeah. Those are kind of guys where I've seen them where they're just not, they don't accept they're short. Like, did you know there's actually a lot of tech guys like in the tech industry we're paying for surgery to make them like 3 inches taller?
No way. No, I didn't know that.
It's like $77K for the surgery. And it's like fucking Gattaca shit. Like, they fucking get their bones and they'll fucking make them like 3 inches taller.
Yeah.
So motherfuckers are paying $100,000, you know, to make him 3 inches, 4 inches taller, or whatever. Whatever that is. But yeah, like I said, there's, and I think that's weird. Like, you know, like I'm 5'11", so I don't really have to worry about finding a girl that's taller than me. Like, it's very rare.
Right.
And if she's taller than me, she's probably like six, like she's probably like tall, but it's so far in between. But I don't know, you know, like, you don't date women. I don't even know what you do, but would you ever go out with a girl who's taller than you?
Yeah, of course.
Well,
actually, I'm not picky. No. I have no preference.
You have no standards, is what you're saying.
I don't. As long as, I'll be honest with you, as long as you don't smoke, I can't stand women smokers. To me, that's a big turnoff. Yeah. You could be Jennifer Lopez, and if you pulled out a cigarette, as far as trying to be in a relationship with you, that's not going to happen.
Hold on. What do you mean as a relationship? I thought you weren't in a relationship, right? Actually, you know what?
No.
Answer me this.
I'm saying if I wanted to be in a relationship with somebody and she smoked, I would not do it. But you're right. I don't want to be in a relationship with nobody, huh?
Hey, do you want to get married?
No, I don't.
I think you do. You ask a lot of married couple questions. Do you know that?
Because those are things that I mostly observe. You gotta realize too that majority of my friends are not single. I could probably, if you look on my Facebook page, I got 700 something real friends. Like, they're not just real random people. These are legit people that I know, I grew up with, I've known for many years and everything else. I could probably point to you maybe 1 or 2 people that are on there that are single. The rest are married or in a relationship. I've never had anything over a year. You know how you've been 9 years married? I never had a year. Never. My longest relationship was a week long. That's how long my relationship was. A week long. And that was in junior high school. That was my longest relationship.
So you're that guy in that movie who's like in junior high, she like broke your heart and you were like, never again. And why everyone else forgot about that shit. You were like, no, fuck that shit. Fuck again. Judy. I will never trust again.
You know what was the worst part? She was a very pretty girl. She had a little mole right here. She had a mole right here. And you know what really killed it for me is because, again, my friends will call her chocolate chip. So they were always constantly fun. And I was like, can't be with this girl, chocolate chip.
That's a cute nickname.
It didn't happen for me.
If they call her like Holy Moly or some shit, like there's that's Holy I mean there's moly. That would be a better nickname. If you're gonna talk shit. But if you're like, hey, chocolate chip, yep. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm older. Maybe now those things wouldn't hurt my feelings.
Bother you, yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's some people who said stuff to us on the podcast or some stuff like that. It's just like, I don't get the punchline yet. I mean, yeah. I guess as you gotten older, I guess, I don't care enough to really hear the insults. I really don't. But I honestly do think you want to get married. I think I can see you getting married.
And you know what's another thing is a lot of these ladies now are losing the good qualities, as in cleaning, cooking. The things that you saw your parents with, your mom and dad, that she would make them a dinner. You know what I'm saying? He come from work, the house be clean, this and this and that. Nowadays, these women are not even doing that for themselves. I don't know how many times people that are on these dating sites will read off this girl put in, like, I don't cook, I don't clean, I like to be wine and dine. What? Like, what fucking dude in their right mind is going to be like, oh, yeah, that's my match? You know what I'm saying? Those are big things for me. If you can't clean or cook, there's something wrong there, especially the cleanliness, because I'm like OCD. If I come home and I see that your fucking panties on the floor, your fucking bras here, nothing's picked up or anything like that, that's disgusting. Because then that makes me wonder how your hygiene is. Are you taking care of your fucking body the way it needs to be taken care of, cleaning-wise? Those are two off qualities that I can't take. You smoke, you can't clean, you can't cook and stuff like that, then it ain't going to work. But again...
Oh, damn, that leaves you alone. It leaves you alone.
That's okay, because I'm able to look in the mirror and be happy with that. Izzy, you good? Izzy says we good.
Well, of course, who else are you going to ask? You going to ask him over there? Hey, Rolo, we good?
That's the only one that really matters, though. That's the only one that really matters. Believe that. If Izzy could say Izzy's happy, then that's all that really matters. I don't need nobody else to tell me, hey, you're gonna make it. You're gonna be okay. As long as I'm comfortable and I'm content with that, then that's all that matters. Because I'm the one living my life. You're not living my life. None of these girls are living my life. You know what I'm saying? And how many times have I seen my boys divorce, broken off engagements, working on wife number 3, 4. This is my 5th girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. This is my 6th man. Or I'm on husband number 3. Or this, and I'm just like, I never have to deal with any of that stuff, any of those headaches.
Yeah.
I never have to be the one to be like, yo, Mike, my girl cheated on me. Or Mike, I caught my wife cheating on me. Or Mike, my girl fucking left me for some other dude. Or Mike, yo, we've been married for 20 years. Now she wants a divorce. You would never hear those trauma stories come out from me.
I just hear about the professors.
Trauma stories. That's the ones who go seek psychiatric help because they're fucking like, what is wrong? Because now they start questioning themselves to be like, yo, what's wrong with me? Why is this happening to me?
Yeah, I think that's weird. You know what I mean? Like on a serious note, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's a really good, healthy to sit there and say, as long as I'm happy with myself, I'm good. That's dope. So kudos to you on that. And that's anytime I meet you, whenever I meet somebody that knows you and we know you, we don't know each other, but we know you. That's the one thing we always talk about. Like, yep, Izzy's been this dude he's been this guy as long as I've known you.
Baby.
Yeah.
I've been consistent.
I've known you over a decade and you're consistently
consistency is me. You want to know what consistency means? Just right here. Here. Never change. I've never changed. I never try to change for anybody in my life.
Never. A therapist is sitting there like, please give me a call so I can fix that about you.
I'm the one asking the therapist the question. Like, we'll reverse the roles. I'll put the therapist on the couch and be like, talk to me. What are your issues? And I'll try to fix you up. Like, I felt it was funny because when that guy told me that statistic, like, I was trying to figure out what was the root cause of the problem. Like, I was questioning him, like, well, what happened? Like, when did you realize, you know, it wasn't working out? Were you doing that? You know what I'm saying? For no reason. Just, that was just my mentality. It's like, damn, I feel bad for this dude. How can I help this dude out? You know?
If you're going to a fucking party after you got divorced, if you and your like other friend that are divorced are going for a party,
yeah,
that's fucking sad. That's fucking sad. There's nothing, like, I don't care how, like, just a word of advice for people. I don't care how happy or unhappy you are. Divorce fucking sucks.
It does.
It is not going to make you feel good. Like, it don't mean, even if you don't have kids, if you don't have kids, it's probably the cleanest way there is, but it still fucking sucks because you know you failed at something, right?
Yeah.
You know. It fucking sucks. And then if you get lawyers involved, you got kids,
Yep.
like, it is fucking messy. And then if you end on good terms, great. Now, if you don't end on good terms, holy fucking shit, that's bad, right? And I think that's a bigger issue for a lot of people is, you know, hey, my wife this, hey, my wife that, or my husband this, my husband that. Like I said, man, to me, that's very sad.
And you know, it's funny because one of the questions that I've always asked whenever I meet women or men that are divorcing or have divorced, the one question I always ask them, are you guys civil with one another? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you guys cool? How's your relationship? Because even after it's said and done, if you're still going at each other's throat, nothing ever is going to be good, especially if you have kids involved. Never.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's just going to always be that hatred there. So when I asked them straight out, I said, hey, are you guys civil? Was it like a civil divorce, a consensus? And he was like, yeah, we're good. We both agreed on it and everything else. And I'm like, that's the way to do it. If you could do it that way, I'm not saying that anybody wants to be divorced and anything, but if you can get divorced where you both agree and you do it a consensus, like be civil because you know you have kids involved and everything else, that's the amicable way to do it. Not to be going at each other's throat. I want your property. You want my property. I want child support, alimony, this, that. I mean, sometimes, you know, it's funny because I feel like from what I observed that the women are always the ones that will tell you, I will never do that to you. But when the fucking time that it does happen where the divorce is occurring, they're the ones more vindictive than the men. Well, they'll come out with the fucking nails and everything and try to get fucking everything. They try to cut you from the legs all the way down.
Yeah, because when a woman's done, she's done. Like, that's the difference, man. But that's what I'm saying. And I hate to say this for a lot of people, man. There was a lot of people I knew in the service. They got fucked over. When a dude went out to divorce, when he went out to deployment, he got fucked over, or she got fucked over. Some of the times they deserved it, and you know, and I don't mean like deserve to be done like that. That's fucking foul,
right?
But what I mean by that is they didn't treat their significant other with respect,
right?
And when a person is done, and normally when a woman is done and she's fucking done, there is no more emotion. She's cold-blooded as fuck.
Oh,
but that was your doing. You know what I mean? Like, that was your doing. You did something to her. You did this shit, and you did this, and you don't rectify it. And like I said, when a woman's done, she's done. And I think that's why we try to be like, oh, a woman's scoring. Like, no, man. Like, when a woman's done, she's done. But even if a woman's done, I think you can fight for her. She wants to know there was something missing, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I don't know that guy. I pretty don't know his marriage, but I'm pretty sure if he was to be like, hey, there's a reason why in the '80s movies the guy would be out in the rain, fucking with a boombox, fucking kissing ass and doing that shit.
Movie.
Right?
It was a classic.
I don't know what movie that is. I just know that the era that's, you know, you're 50, so that was probably how you were dating.
That was John Cusack. That was the actor that was holding up the boombox.
This was going to be a fucking reel with like music behind it and fucking like hard hitting shit. And there you go and be like, movie trivia that you didn't know about John Cusack starting that movie. Thanks.
I'm surprised you even know that because you're not one that watches movies or anything like that. Like,
again, that's why I referenced the scene. I have no idea what was going on. I just know the scene. No clue what the fuck that movie. I don't know what he did. I don't know who he really is.
But here's the one thing though. If a woman decides to take you back, even though you fucked up, and she decides to take you back, she will not fucking let it go.
You should.
It will always come up. You could be good for 3-4 years after the fact, and the one time you slip up, oh, remember this?
Yeah.
Boom. All the time. All the time, the woman will hold that grudge, bro.
This is my thing about that. It's not a grudge. That shit hurt. Did you talk about it?
Yeah, but why take him back then?
Because again, it's, man, one of the things that, again, if y'all have, if anybody really is wondering, Marcus and Santel, for sure the people to talk to, just a fucking goon, just my fucking personal opinion. She still cares, right? But it still hurts. And as a man, did you learn that lesson? And if you're still fucking up, the answer is no. As a man, you got to take that failure, because you failed, you fucked up, and you got to live with that shit and always remind yourself and let her know that you never forgot either. That's the thing. Is it's not that she still hasn't forgive you, is that shit hurts and she knows it could happen again. And she's like, no, motherfucker, like, I'm not putting up with that shit.
Yeah.
And as a man, you have to understand that if you did fuck up, that stays with you. It's unfortunate. Just don't do it again. But you got to always remember what you did wrong, because if you forget for the second, you get comfortable with that, like that not happening, you can do it again.
Yeah.
And more than likely it won't happen again, but you do the slightest thing close to it, she'll get pissed. Why? Because it still hurts. This shit's bad, man. Some of these things that some of us people do, and it's not always men. You know, it's, if you're in a relationship,
it happens to men too, though. It happens to men too.
So it happens. It's whatever you did wrong, that other person, it's that they love you, they care for you, and you hurt them. Man, you see people that got hurt, like, how many people like had something happen when their childhood, they're 50, still fucking remember that shit. You don't think the spouse is gonna remember that shit 3-4 years ago? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you got to understand they're a person too, but you got to understand that they're gonna live with that shit, and so should you. And you should always let them know, I have not fucking forgotten, and my actions as a man will dictate that I'm not gonna do that again. And normally they'll be okay with it, but you can't go back to the way things were, because they never could be, because you fucked up.
You fucked
up.
And
as a man, you got to live with that shit, right? And that's what I'm saying. As men, when I see the men, and that's why I'm going to hold us accountable, we tend to be like, oh, I'm back in good graces, so let me go back to over here. And it's like, nah, homie, what you had before was great. You lost a little bit of that shit. You need it. Like, you got to get better. Yep. And if you don't get better, you're going to lose her for sure. And when you lose her, no emotion. She is cutthroat as fuck.
Yep.
But it's only because you let her get that cutthroat. She is warm-hearted, she's caring, and she's loving, because there's going to be another guy that's going to get all that love. It's not gone.
Yeah.
It's just gone for you.
And here's to what you were saying last time or a couple of minutes ago, was the I'm sorry part.